Okay, great. Got your hoop? All right, so we'll just place the hula hoop right in front of us. Feet pretty far apart. And I'll just shake our hips back and forth. It's after 5 o'clock. You've got a day. Let's shake it out, shake it away. I'll reintroduce myself. My name is Jenny, just in case you're like me and I need to have names repeated often. So today we're going to work in the transverse plane, which is a lot to do with the inseam of your leg, lengthening the inseam of your leg, and then strengthening your outer hips. Yeah! Yes, okay, cool. So if you feel right now as you shake back and forth, can you begin to sense where your inner thighs are? Not that you have to go crazy, it's just sensing the inner thighs while also getting some hip movement back and forth. Okay, and then since this is really just to start warming up our body, let's walk our feet in closer. You can use the hoop to hold on to your balance. Just get a little few hops here. And the tips of your toes. And allow yourself to breathe. If you're like, I got my balance, I don't necessarily need to hold on to this. You're also welcome to bring the hoop behind you. But some more hopping, some more hoopy hopping. And just shaking that day away. If bouncing isn't for you, you could bend the knees and down and down. We're just beginning to turn on the body and really shake the day away. If you want to bring it around your hips, you swing back and forth. You allow the arms to find some momentum and let you feel as though you're in the center of the hoop. If you feel like, okay, I want to keep going, or if you want to find some stillness, you just have to be a little bit of a hip width apart and swing back and forth. Finding a little twist either way. Allow yourself to feel any of the energy just created in the body. The cells are having a little party. For about 10 more seconds, while I lift up to just the toes and allow you to turn back and forth. Welcome to do so. Really do whatever you want at this moment. And if you want to hoop around the waist, you're welcome to. If you remember, you enjoyed that. You usually use hoops for yoga? Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, other people use it for yoga?
Yeah, I didn't know. This is my first yoga class, so
Yeah. There is quite a few different props that people use for yoga. I've seen like the flexi bands that people will put around their thighs and do. Yeah, so we have a friend that teaches that. Yeah, I'm not the first person that taught with a hula hoop. However, this is much different than the way that I have taken other classes. So I think YogaRound is a little bit different than what I call this practice. Okay, so now that we're a little bit more warmed up, let's go ahead and lay on down. You can have the knees bent if you like. Place the hula hoop right on top of your thighs, right at the hip crease. And just take a moment to rock the pelvic floor back and forth. A little tuck of the tailbone and then a little sway of the lower back. You can think of the inner thighs going up towards your nose and then the inner thighs going down towards the earth. And just finding that little rocking movement. Allowing the low back to find connection to the ground. And then allowing the low back to lift off of the earth. We're doing this right now just to find the total extremes of tuck just bring your hands out for a moment, either at shoulder height or close to your body. So you keep staying here for a moment. I'm going to sit up just so we can talk a little better. All right, yoga is not just a physical practice. There's 8 limbs of yoga. One of them is the breath. So even if you're having a busy day, you're traveling, whatever it is, and you can't get on your yoga mat, you can always bring attention to your breath. And there you have it, you practice yoga. And when we practice yoga, we talk about finding the Ujjayi Breath. And this being our first class, we're going to not completely go over it yet. However, I'd like to bring you in a little softly. The Ujjayi Breath is a constrictive breath that is in and out the nose, but you feel it in the back of your throat. Sometimes when I find the Ujjayi Breath, I don't necessarily even feel like I'm inhaling and exhaling out the nose, but I almost feel like I'm inhaling and exhaling out the throat. So because of that, we're going to find this breathing exercise where we inhale in through the nose for 4, and then exhale out the mouth. And then we'll inhale in through the mouth and exhale out the nose. And we'll just keep going on this repeated pattern. So let's exhale all the breath we have. Take an inhale in through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale through the mouth. Exhale out the nose. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale through the mouth. Exhale through the nose. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. I'll do this a few more times. Inhale through the mouth. Exhale out the nose. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale through the mouth. Exhale out the nose. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. You keep going. Can you begin to feel that sensation that they almost are the same? If you forget which way you exhale, that's okay. Take one more round. Take a refreshing inhale in through the nose. Exhale however you choose. Take another refreshing breath. And just take notice, how does the mind, how does the body respond when you focus on your breathing? And from there, let's go ahead and wiggle the toes close together, the heels together, bring the right knee into the chest, and then place the hoop on the ball mound or on the bottom of the foot of the right foot and extend up towards the sky. little bit more level. Then from here, we'll bring this hula hoop down the leg, flatten that left leg onto the ground. Great. So we're going to place this hula hoop on top of our left thigh to keep that left thigh on the ground. And then turn this foot up above, out towards the right. And then, so today when we're working on the inseam of lengthening the inseam of the leg, a way that we do that is finding external rotation in the leg. So right now, that's what you're finding. When you turn the right toes out towards the right, you're finding external rotation. If you can't feel that all the way up the leg, literally use your right hand and just bring that inner thigh and hold onto the inner thigh and encourage it out and around to the outer hip. And then from there, we'll place our hands on the hoop to help keep that thigh down on the earth. Keep that external rotation in the leg, and then draw it out towards the right. As soon as that left side of the body wants to lift off the ground, that's a pretty good indication you've gone far enough with that leg. Extend out through that heel. Check that in with the external rotation in that right thigh. Take a breath here. And then bend that knee, bring that heel in, and just lay it on top of the hoop however you can. Maybe you need to wiggle the hoop a bit, but just let that foot be flat on the hoop. Allow that knee to draw down onto the hoop. You can lift the knee up, and then bring it on down, and lift it up, and bring it down. With the foot on the heel, we'll go ahead and extend that foot out and place it onto the ground. Draw that left knee in, place the foot on the hoop, and stretch it up to the sky. Again, check in with the lumbar curve. Take a peek at your hips even and see, are they still in line? And take 2 breaths here, really bringing those toes towards the nose. And bring that hoop around the leg. Place it on top of the thigh of that outstretched leg. You can maybe bring your right hand inside the hoop, or maybe it stays underneath here. It's just however it feels comfortable for you. And then turn this foot that's lifted out towards the left. Again, you can even encourage that leg by placing the hands and actually physically moving that thigh. And from here, draw that leg out towards the left. Keep that right side body moving out. Extend out both heels. And bend that knee, bring the foot in towards the middle, and place it on the hoop. So that knee falling down towards the ground, and then you can lift it up towards the sky. You can use the hoop to help lift it, and bring it down, and then lift it. With the heel or the foot on the hoop, go ahead and extend that foot out. And then place it on down. Just place the hoop on the ground for a moment. Bring the knees into the chest. Go ahead and hug them in. Get in a snug ball. You can even lift the chin towards the knees if you like. And then bring that head down. Allow the knees to move away from each other, drawing away from one another. Extend out through the heels. And draw them back in, roll over to one side, and we'll help ourselves up to our knees. So I'm going to do my best to mirror you. We're going to hold on to the hoop right in front of us, and then I place the right foot inside of the hoop. Yeah. So we're going to try to bring our knee and our foot in line with each other. Everyone's a little bit different. If it's your big toe that's in line with the knee, great. If it's the inner heel or the inner foot, great. Then bring this hoop, bring it behind you. Yeah. And then that left hand will go inside the hoop. Yeah. So the outstretched leg, the hoop's in front of it, and the outstretched right hand is in front. Perfect. Awesome. Stay planted in this outstretched foot. Inhale, lift that right hand up to the sky. Exhale, fold over it a little bit. If you want to bring the hand on top of the hoop, you can. Take a breath here. And inhale on up. Bring that right hand towards the thigh and lift the left hand up towards the sky. Maybe even peek up towards the sky. Really hug that right hip in and stretch that top hand up and over, or maybe just up. Your next inhale, go ahead, lift on up. Bring the thumb and the point your finger holding onto the hoop, and exhale, fold over. Great. We're going to do one more each way. Lift up, exhale to the right, and lift up. Exhale to the left. Inhale, lift up to center. This right foot, we're going to point out and away from this left knee. So the heel is now facing in towards the knee. Great. And then think of that external rotation again at the inner thigh. And this hoop is here to encourage that external rotation. Great. From here, we're going to bend into that right knee. So what we're finding here is warrior two, but on our knees. So we're going to find it later on, and I'm going to check back in with you. You can place this hand again on the knee, maybe reach it out, whatever you want to do right now that makes you feel supported. Then bring that torso up and back over. And exhale, back in. Let's find a little flow. Inhale up. Exhale, bend. Inhale up. Exhale, bend on in. We'll do one more. Inhale up. Exhale, bend in. Go ahead, lift on up. Let this hoop come out to the outstretched leg. And then wiggle that foot back in. And we'll simply bring that knee out. Great. If you need to maneuver on your mat like I do, feel free to. Even check in with your hoop and see, did you make it look weird? Because that means you're really, really using it. All right, so we're going to step the left foot in. The toes are pointing towards the front or slightly out. And then bring this hoop behind you. Bring the right hand inside the hoop. And we're going to step it in. Yeah. And then you'll bring it behind you. Yeah. Cool. How's that feel? A little weird? A little weird. Mary, let's do it again. That looks better for you? Do it that way too. Okay. Yeah. All right. So we'll inhale, reach the right hand to the sky, and then exhale over that outstretched leg. And we'll inhale up. You can bring that thumb and put your finger to hold the hoop and exhale over. Inhale up. Exhale over the outstretched leg. And inhale to center. Exhale, close that leg. We'll do one more. Inhale up. Exhale, the straight leg. Inhale up. And over. And inhale up to center. Turn that left knee and the foot out. Heel is going to be in line with the bent knee. And then bend into that really thing of external rotation at the top of that leg. If it's better for you to use it as like a, place it right in front of you. Yeah. I sometimes think I make it a little bit more difficult just because of finding alignment. that the hula hoop is seeming like it's more of a disservice, and you're like, I just want to find this without it, put it down. I'm not going to be offended. We can talk after class about your experience. And yeah, but I always usually tell people, drop it if it's making it harder. Great, so let's find 3 of these where we inhale up, and then exhale, bend into that left knee. Inhale back up. Exhale, bend. And one more. Exhale, bend. And just lift on up. Just wiggle that foot towards the front. Allow the foot to fall down towards the foot. And then step it back. Great. We'll place the hoop right on the ground. And check in with the legs. How are they feeling? Bring your toes and your knees, bring your toes and your knees on the inside of the hoop, the hands on the outside. Finding tabletop position, spreading the fingers wide. Tabletop position is with the shoulders over the wrist and the hips over the knees. Let's find a couple cat-cows here. We'll inhale, bring the heart through the arms, turn the gaze up, lift the tailbone towards the sky. And then exhale, round, creating space in the armpits, thinking of the heart moving in between the shoulder blades. Inhale, find the arch, the crown of the head, and the pelvic floor on this long string. Exhale, round. Let's do one more. Inhale, find the arch. And exhale, round. Come to a neutral spine. Lift the knees just to a hover. And just take a moment here with the knees hovering. Think of the core and let the core engage. Take another breath here. Letting the arms get long. And bring those knees up, bring the hips back. Find your first downward facing dog. If the heels are finding the hoop, then enjoy the heels finding the surface. If your heels just naturally go close to the ground, then just bring your feet on the inside of the hoop. Either one is totally fine. But let's bend the right leg, straighten the left. And bend the left and straighten the right. And bend both of the knees and begin to straighten them however much. Knowing that keeping a bend in the legs is totally fine. Take another breath here. And then begin to walk the hands back to the feet. Once you get there, just let the head hang heavy. If you want to find a little shake back and forth, feel free to rock back and forth. We'll be here for 4 breaths. Let's inhale, halfway rise. Exhale, fold. Grab the hoop and inhale. Come all the way to stand. Allow the hoop to go up and over the head, finding these cactus arms. And exhale, flip the hoop over your head and bring it right in front of the thighs. Just take a moment there if you can find balance with the hoop or just lays against the thighs. Let's just take a moment and feel your Tadasana. Tadasana is in English mountain pose. So from the ground up, let's press down into the feet. Allow the tops of the thighs to move back. And then think of the booty coming slightly down. From there, draw the shoulders back. And draw the front ribs down towards your navel. Lift the crown of the head so you feel long on either side of your neck. pick up the hoop, hold on to the hoop with both hands. Press on in a little bit more with the pinky side versus the pointer finger. And with that sensation of pressing into the hoop with the pinky side, can you imagine those outer shoulder blades drawing towards one another and down the back? Then we'll inhale, lift the fingers up towards the sky. Exhale, bring the hoop to the tops of your thighs and fold over. So inhale, halfway rise, bring the hands to the top of the hoop, keeping a bend in the knees if needed. Exhale, fold. From here, hold on to the hoop on either side, and we'll lift on up. Once again, reach the hoop up to the sky. We're going to find 2 more of those. So exhale, fold over the hoop. Allow the heart to move away from the thighs and then down towards the toes. Inhale, halfway rise. Exhale and fold. Sit bones high. Inhale, hold on to the hoop, reach up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, halfway rise. This time we're going to go ahead and begin to walk our hands out. So fold over again, bring the hands to the ground. Keep the hoop at the tops of the thighs only if it serves you. We'll walk your hands out to this downward facing dog, finding yourself in a V. So the hula hoop is there at the tops of the thighs solely to encourage the thighs back. The inner thighs are drawing away from one another as outer hips are drawing towards one another. Just take a couple breaths here. So if the hoop is close to your feet, when you lift up to your tippy toes, the hoop will just fall to the ground. Just let it fall down. If it's away from your feet, it's a little harder to let it fall down. Great, so we'll come out to this plank pose, lower the knees, and then lower yourself all the way down. So finding ourselves on our bellies, let's flatten those toenails onto the ground. Hands are on either side of the collarbone, and we'll lift on up, reaching the shoulders back, the elbows back, and thinking more length in the spine than height. Exhale, let's come down. Inhale, lift on up. Exhale, and down. And one more that way. Inhale, come on up to the cobra. Exhale, and down. Lift on up to your hands and your knees. Curl the toes under, downward dog again. Bring that right knee into your chest and step it forward in between the hands. We'll lower that back knee down onto the ground. So the knee should be on the inside of the hoop, and then the foot will be on the outside. From here, we'll hold on to, From here, we'll hold on to the hoop and begin to lift that foot up with the hoop just a bit. If you come to the very top of the knee, it helps keep the knee safe here. We'll give a little quad stretch in that back leg. Think of hugging this front hip back and in. Lifting the foot more towards the sky than the booty. Take a nice breath. Think tailbone heavy. Another breath here. And lower the foot to the ground. Lift that back knee up. From here, the hula hoop is in between our legs. Let's bring it to the inside of that front foot. And then open up to warrior 2. So that back heel will be slightly behind the toes. Great. And think of how we're on the ground. With that knee, this foot will be facing, the heel will be to the inseam of the inner foot or the heel. From here, we'll just bend on into that right knee. Great. Let's lift on up. Let's do a little practice here of shaking those hips back and forth. So this back leg, believe it or not, is a neutral leg. This right leg is the external rotated leg. So as we and bend into this right leg. Still think of this inner thigh of the back leg drawing away from its bent knee. Great. All right, let's straighten that right leg. Hold on to the hoop, adjust your left hand, extend the right hand out, and hug this right hip in. Stretch, stretch, stretch out, and then bring that hand down towards the ankle, maybe the calf, or the shin, or maybe you go all the way to the ground. Then from here, press down into the hula hoop with that hand, and begin to open up the chest. So lifting that top shoulder up and over the bottom shoulder. Think of the shoulder blade of that bottom shoulder blade moving into the back of the heart to help open up that collarbone. Turn the gaze towards the right toes. Begin to bend into that right knee and bring the elbow right there to the right knee. And again, we'll find that twist of pressing down into the boot to help lift that top shoulder. You can have that connection with the elbow and the knee to press into the elbow, or into the knee with the elbow, and help open up that right collarbone to the side. And then bring that boot down in between the legs. Once again, turn on those back toes to your high lunge. And then we'll maybe have to wiggle this foot back and then step it back to your plank pose. Go ahead, lower the knees down, lower yourself to the ground. And inhale, find your cobra. Exhale and lower. Inhale, we'll lift to our tabletop position, curl those toes under, and then downward facing dog. Bring that left knee into the chest, then step it forward. Knowing if you need a couple steps to get there, great. You can use your left hand to literally help bring that foot to the top. It's a practice, so if it doesn't come naturally, believe me, you're not alone. We'll lower that back knee down, where the back knee will be inside the hoop, the foot will be on the outside. Get to the very top of that front, or to the very top of that back knee. And then pick up the hoop with both hands and encourage that back foot up. And a little quad stretch here. Allowing that tailbone again to be heavy. Bringing a lot of attention to that back hip flexor. The quad and the hips connecting. Hard on my balance. Another way to do it is you want to come back and maybe just put it in front of you, and then if you bring it behind you, something's in front, and you'll Another way to get it in there. Okay, once you feel you've had enough of that, bring the foot on down. And we'll make our way with that back knee up. For you and I, we'll pull that hoop right to so our feet are on either side. Great. And then flatten that back foot. Grab the hoop and open up to your warrior two. This is kind of fun to see in the mirror this way. So that back heel is slightly turned out. And then think external rotation of this left thigh. Then down into that knee. Not a big sense of this back foot, though. Keep that back foot on the ground. If you like little pulses, you're welcome to find little pulses. Find stillness. Whichever way you want. Sometimes it's nice to just relax on the hoop. Kind of kidding, but. Sometimes you have those days. So from here, let's straighten that left leg. So slightly bend in this knee, especially if you have hyperextensive knees. And we'll reach that left hand out and then bring it down. This right hand on top of the hoop to help encourage that top shoulder back. Bend into that left knee, bring the elbow to the knee, encouraging the knee out. Roll that hoop and place it at the top of your mat. Down to this high lunge. And we'll step back. We'll lower for our last time, bringing the knees to the ground and lowering. And we'll inhale, halfway rise and lower. Come on back to your tabletop. Curl the toes under, downward facing dog. Taking 2 breaths here. Walk the feet in the middle of the mat until it gets to the top. Bend our knees, hold on to opposite elbows. And then let's roll up vertebrae by vertebrae, keeping the navel to your spine. Holding on to opposite elbows. And we'll lift the elbows up to the sky. Framing the ears with our arms. From here, extend the arms up and out and bring them onto your sides. Just take a moment with your eyes closed, allow the hands to be open. So we're going to grab our hoop once again. We're going to find just a quick flow of the Warrior 2, family flow that we just did with the hoop in front of us. And then we'll get down to the ground. So we just have one more standing and then on to the ground we go. So here we'll bring the hoop behind us, find those cactus arms, and step the feet wide. Turn the right toes to the back of your mat, and then lift that left heel up and bring the heel back slightly. From here, just a lot of people, I know I said it last time in class, we have a wider stance than you usually think, and this again will come with practice, and I know you both were saying that you're pretty new, so we'll go ahead and bend into that right knee. If it starts to go towards the toes, that's how you know, okay, I have more width that I can make my legs go. If that knee goes over the toes, then yeah, then don't do it. Then widen out. But here, you might stay with these cactus arms, or bring that hoop to the armpit of your right arm. And then if that doesn't work, some people just really enjoy bringing the hoop onto the shoulders, and it's actually kind of nice for the neck, right? Does it feel good for you? Yeah. Okay, good. So that might be better. At home, you might want to just maybe extend the arms and bring it right behind you, and it's good for the neck. So from here, bend into that right knee. And straighten that right leg into the hip, and bring that head down. This hoop will be nice and make us be nice and honest of how far forward are we falling. Bring the head back. Bring that top hip back. Yeah. And then can you create a little bit more space of that torso. Bring the heart towards the right toes. Yeah. Awesome. All right. Bend to that right knee again. Lift the boot up. You will find the cactus arms for this one. Hinge at the back hip like reverse warrior. Great. Then come back and roll into finding the elbow to the knee and finding this extended side angle. Great. Allow that hook in front of the top elbow to bring that elbow back. Yeah. And we'll lift back up. Warrior 2. And straighten the legs. Turn both toes to be parallel. Awesome. And then we'll do the exact same thing on the back. Let that right heel be slightly behind the toes. And we'll find, maybe if you did it last time like this, let's do it again like that. Just bring it right on top of your shoulders. And back to that left knee. Up that back hip. Taking 2 breaths here. Straighten that leg. Send that hip into the middle and then find triangle pose. Yeah. Awesome. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. And think of that left inner thigh really drawing into your navel. Bend back into that left knee, bring the hoop up and find those cactus arms. And we'll hinge at the back hip, bringing the left elbow up to the sky. And lifting back up to warrior 2 and bring the elbow, that left elbow to the knee. And open up. Come back up, warrior 2. Flip the hoop up and over. Turn your toes to be parallel. And just heel toe them in. Great. And there's one more thing I wanted to do while we were standing still. So bring the hoop to the outside of your left leg. Turn your heel, your right heel in. And the toes on the ground. So there's again, broken record here, but that's how we learn, is hearing the same thing over and over again. Inner thigh, right here, is externally rotated. So then, walk that foot on up however far. Maybe it just comes to the ankle and it stays there, that's perfect. Or it comes to the shin. Or you can lift it up and bring it to the inner thigh. Just try not to have it landed right on your knee. If it's on the knee, then have it with it. You would prefer to have it below the knee versus on the knee. And this is where I almost was going to bring chairs around as well, but we do have the hoop, so just hold on to the hoop, allow it to give you balance. Wherever the foot is making contact with your leg, press them into each other. So much so that it's like, this is me finding my center. Press the foot into the leg into the foot. Feel like you got it and you want to go a step further, you can raise that hand up towards the sky, whatever one is not holding onto the hoop. And if you're doing that, think of going in all different directions. You're moving into your center, but then you're pressing down into the ground while you're lifting to the sky. And we'll turn that knee forward and lower everything down to the ground. Okay, come to practice. It's totally practice. So I would just encourage keeping the foot, just the toe on the ground. And even there, with the toes on the ground, if you can find a little, you are going to shoot, so maybe it's a little bit harder. You can kind of sometimes find like a little puzzle piece with the ankle. But yeah, just have the toes on the earth and press wherever it is ground, into the foot, and find your sturdiness there. You may begin to start to feel it in the outer hip or on the inner thigh. It just depends on your own body. So if you want to go ahead and find either shin or lifting it up. Be here for 6 breaths. Should have mentioned too. We almost jumped on the ground earlier. I don't know why I didn't do this. Let's lay on the ground.
Oh, okay.
And then, if you want to stay though, you can keep going with a few more breaths. If you're having trouble with balance, you can lay down and find this on the ground too. So, if you're on the ground, you can even catch the foot with the hoop and just encourage that foot up wherever it will go. Does that feel good? Okay, wonderful. So yeah, at home if you're, you can just bring that foot up while you lay on the ground. Okay, we actually did do it in the beginning of practice. That's right, I thought I was going to do it. But we did do it in the beginning of class, so you can find exactly that if balance is not your thing right now, today. We do only have so much longer of class, and I want to get just a few more things in. So come on up, get on your butt. If you have sensitive heels and you need padding, just go on the long side and bring your heels on either side of your mat. We're going to make our legs go wide. You don't necessarily have to go to your extreme. You can go at 80%. That's okay. You don't always have to go to your extreme. Now we'll bring the hoop on the inside of the thighs. We did this last time. We're going to do it again. We're going to press the hoop into the thighs into the hoop. We're not going to forward fold this time though. Instead, we're going to lift the hoop up and then bring it behind us. Great. From here, we're going to hinge over to our left leg. Just rolling on over. This is where we would find Tadasana, where we would roll this hand towards the big toe and try to open on up. But what we'll do today, this is new to you, we're just rolling that hoop towards the toes. And we'll lift on up, rolling up, back up, and go over to the other side. Keeping the opposite hip. Doesn't have to be firm on the ground, but allow it to still make connection and not lift completely. And then let's lift on up and go back over to the other side. If you feel like your hands can grab the foot, then grab the foot. And then lift on up and back over to the opposite side. Lift on up again. Flip the hoop over, bring it back to the inner thighs, and allow that connection to the inner thighs and the inner thighs to the hoop to create some power. Let that hoop away from the body, bring your hands to the outside of the knees, and begin to encourage them together. Bringing the heels of the feet together, knees apart, finding your butterfly. Allowing the knees to fall, not forcing anything. Bring those knees back on in. Bring your hands behind the body and rock back a bit. Walk the feet away from you. And then bring one knee in, put that foot on top of the opposite knee. And then perhaps you walk that foot back in slightly. You can use those hands behind you to help towards that back shoulder. Think of how low can you create that twist? Where can that twist begin as it's close to the ground? Feel it coming on out. Walking both feet in front. And bring the opposite foot on top of the knee and walk it in close. However close is good for you. And then those hands behind you can help bring the chest towards that foot. Make sure that foot again is nice and active. You can definitely tell the difference from a complacent foot versus an active foot and what it does to the stretch. Drop that foot over and down towards the ground while wiggling the other one in towards your middle. So one heel's towards the booty, the other one's over the thigh. Hug that knee in. Bring the opposite fingers behind. Press down on the inhale to lengthen the spine. And then twist. Slowly come it on out. Go ahead, bring both feet in front of you. The next pose is corpse pose, Tadasana. So go ahead, lower on down to the earth. If you want to find a half baby before going into Shavasana, that would be bringing your knees in, and then make sure your feet are active, and bring the knees apart. For today, let's just bring our hands to the outside of our shins or the outside of our knees. And extend out through the heels. You can literally rock and roll like a baby if that feels good. Whenever you're ready, bring those knees in, bring the feet to the ground, and then lower them down to the earth. Allow the inner thighs to be shining up towards the sky. Take a nice, refreshing breath out and out. And allow yourself to take this moment yourself up to a seated position when you're ready. Thank you so much. You know, sometimes in this class I want to say everything is a full circle in life. And I appreciate you being here. Namaste. And if you have questions, I'm happy to answer them. Next week, it will be the coronal plane will be working. So today was a lot of balancing front and back and doing a little bit of rotation in our body. And next week, it's going to be a lot more of front and back. We'll do some high lunges. We'll get some warrior threes. But yeah, so it'll be working different parts of our body than we did today. And the whole goal of this class is to, sometimes I feel I'm a little bit too much on the education part, but it is to help educate. I'm so glad.